1, your hot real profile take, 10 by 10.
Local. Late breaking. This is KSAT 12 News at noon.
10, 7 full.
I heard something sound like
10 by
firecrackers.
VO.
It was gunshots. The guy fired twice at me.
My Q.
Victims of a
2-shot 2 next, I'm about to move to.
violence speak out.
But the man who allegedly pulled the trigger will not be telling his story.
Move
Good
two.
afternoon,
Take
everybody. I'm Leslie Mouton. Denise has the afternoon off.
And I'm Tony Lopez. He was a man on the run, wanted for allegedly opening fire on people simply because of their race.
Somebody change the same real profile. We're doing 11 package.
American and a Korean. And when cornered by police, the suspect met his own death by suicide.
Changed FSA.
The very latest now on the suspect and his possible motive. Liz Cho reports.
11 undercut.
Late Sunday night, police say Benjamin Nathaniel Smith carjacked a van and led police on a high-speed chase.
About 2 Lego Tony,
Just
page
a few
30
minutes
victims.
before they caught up with the suspected killer.
Benjamin Smith has been apprehended and subsequently died as a result of gunshot wounds following a police chase.
Investigators believe Smith started his drive-by shooting spree Friday night in Chicago and ended it Sunday in Indiana, killing 2 and injuring several others.
When you look at the populations that were impacted by these crimes, the Asian community, the Jewish community, the African American community, the circumstantial evidence is fairly compelling that these were hate crimes.
Smith was a member of the World Church of the Creator, a white supremacist group. In 1998, he was forced to leave the University of Illinois for passing out anti-Semitic pamphlets on campus. He'd recently transferred to Indiana University and continued to distribute his flyers.
It was some targeted to the Jewish community, suggesting Jewish plots to take over the United States. Some targeted the African American
20 seconds.
community,
2 Lego Tony, page 30
separatism
victims.
of the races was the only way we could survive.
Detectives linked Smith to the shootings after his car, a blue Ford Taurus, was
10
spotted
seconds.
at all of the crime scenes. Police also found 2 guns they believe Smith used in all of the shootings.
Number 2.
Liz Cho, ABC News, Chicago.
Take 2 Q. That was
One
interesting.
group was walking to synagogue, another man was jogging with his son, and yet one more victim was just leaving church. The survivors of the shooting spree are speaking out. Today on Good Morning America, we heard from a member of the Orthodox Jewish community who was shot in the leg. He says he didn't realize he was shot at first. And we also heard from the mother of another victim who says these incidents send a message to America.
13, wipe sound.
This is what happens.
Okay, was this way at 12, 2 Lego tag.
We have to stop the hate. We have to
Number
take
2.
the guns away from those who would use it in this way.
Take 2.
We will, of course,
16 to 1 Lego Leslie next. Number 6.
12 News beginning at 5.
Well, 6 take sound. Take 1 QR.
Other top stories now. A 5-year-old girl allegedly beaten to death by her own father. This noon, Raymond Rodriguez has been charged with capital murder. Rodriguez was arrested Sunday after his 5-year-old daughter
11
died
next.
at
Tony
San Rosa
Reeds,
Hospital.
46 Cisneros.
Badly injured from a beating. She was brought there Saturday and died overnight. Her sister was also hurt but survived. Child Protective Services says Rodriguez has been under investigation before. His girlfriend is also being investigated. She is in jail on unrelated charges.
When Henry Cisneros' hearing resumes tomorrow, it's a group of lawyers who
One
will
Logo
be
Leslie
taking the
next, page
stand.
65
The defense
fatals.
will question
Taking
several
trans
attorneys,
guide.
at least one of whom they believe had a hand in encouraging Linda Jones to alter secretly taped phone conversations with Cisneros. Now, another lawyer is supposed to testify about efforts to get the former mayor to settle a lawsuit filed by Jones. Attorneys for Cisneros want the tapes thrown out completely, but a federal judge has hinted that at least some will be admitted as evidence. The hearing enters its 3rd week tomorrow.
Take 1 QR.
The holiday weekend is notorious for fatal car accidents, and at least 29 people died this weekend. Early numbers show that in 21 crashes, 17 of the victims were not wearing their seatbelts. Public safety officials believe 3 of the crashes involved alcohol. None of the incidents happened here in Bexar County. The number of deaths this year is down substantially from last when more than 50 people lost their lives over the holiday weekend.
Take 2.
It is probably not what most would consider a traditional 4th of July celebration, but this city wouldn't have it any other way.
There aren't any fireworks or crowded streets, but there are a lot of flag-waving patriotic people there to celebrate.
Number 12.
New at noon, a peek at today's 4th of July parade in Windcrest.
Number 12, take sound. Windcrest. It runs 104. Our key was applause. Nats out with his.
Future fighters of American interest marched down the streets of Windcrest.
Actually, we'll take 2 out.
Stood on
2
the
Lego
sidelines,
next. Tony,
offering
page
these
79
ROTC
games.
students a hand of approval. It is a traditional 4th of July celebration in Windcrest. While you won't find any marching bands,
or elaborate floats. What you will find is a whole lot of pride.
Love it. My heart just goes boom, 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 boom each time.
Yeah.
Instead of lining the streets, these parade watchers lounged in lawn chairs. They each had the best seat in the city to this patriotic tradition.
It's a sense of belonging.
Runs 104, so you've got 20 seconds, Larry.
Heritage of our country.
The parade is made up of people, from little ones on bikes to older ones in trucks. Nothing
10
fancy,
seconds. Tip
just
up 2.
fun. It is the Windcrest way of saying Happy 4th of July.
Number 2. And take 2. Cue him.
They had a whole lot of fun out there.
Number 13.
Splash alert. You will get wet if you go inside the San Antonio Natatorium today. Watch out below. The diving competition is underway in the annual Inter-City Summer Games. 86 kids taking the plunge from the high dive and the low dive. The youngest divers at the fearless age of 6. They compete here through the age of 15. All that adds up to a lot of work. Now, during the school year, each diver trains about 10 hours a week, but that practice certainly pays off today.
Wipe, sound.
Work for it. You have to keep on going. If you mess up,
3 different bites here. Our cue is like a winner at 6. Vio continues.
Made me feel good. Like
Number Vio. Thank you.
All right. And
16 or 3 sets in the next. Stand by 6.
Diver gets a medal.
Row 6, take sound. Take 3, cue her.
Around America, the heat
Stand by
is
11
on
the
in the
monitors.
Big
Row
Apple.
11.
The National Weather
Wipe
Service has
monitors.
issued an excessive heat
Take it
warning
full.
for today and tomorrow. New Yorkers are
Wiping
sweating
12
it out
next,
in
New
close
York.
to 100-degree weather, and
Lose
the
it.
humidity is more than 70%.
Stand by 12.
But many New Yorkers say
Row
they're
12.
just not used to.
Wipe.
Sparks, Nevada, where the wildfires just will not relent. Firefighters have been
Wiping
battling the
13 next.
60,000-acre blaze
Lose it.
all weekend. 2 towns had to be evacuated. Forecasters are predicting
Number
more
13.
rain. Say any lightning
Number 13.
could cause a problem.
Wipe.
We'll call him Grandpa Vice President Al
2 logo,
Gore.
Tony.
Al and
176
Pippa Gore
teens
are the
next.
proud grandparents of a new baby born on the 4th of July. They named the little boy Wyatt Gore Schiff. The Vice President took time off from campaigning,
Number 2.
of course, to hold his little grandson.
Take 2.
I think that was his daughter getting married. At least
Vio
I hope
next.
so. They can call San Antonio their home away from home. 14 exchange students up
10.
bright and early as their host families bid them a
10.
fond farewell.
Take.
It may be a
Park.
holiday, but the Central Park Mall parking lot was
Wiping 11,
hopping
sound full
bright early
next.
this morning. Students from all over Europe boarded the bus wearing their memories on their sleeves. Emotional moments. Decked out in their Texas T-shirts, though, and their cowboy hats. They hugged
Number
their
11.
host families goodbye.
Row 11. Wipe, sound.
They've left a friend and
Next. Our cue is their culture at 10.
for a
Lose it.
lifetime.
Number Vio.
An exchange, a real cultural exchange, giving us a piece of their culture.
My cue.
After
Self
spending a year in
tees
San
next.
Antonio, many parents say it's like saying goodbye to their own children. But plans to visit the exchange students overseas
Number
are
12.
already in the works.
Row 12. Take sound.
Lost your pet? Well, help is on the way. Coming up, a place you can turn to when your furry friends are on the run.
And a common nutritional supplement could make treating diabetes a whole lot easier. Details are coming up and help.
And the Spurs get a call
Hey, man,
from
break.
the White House. John Bentley has that and much more coming up in sports.
Fade. Break. Hot fade up 1. Cue him.
You can't get much more patriotic than this. The Spurs head coach
Number 10 in the
talks to
box.
the president. A Texan is winning the Tour de France, and Team USA is going to the finals of
Row
the
10.
World Cup.
White box.
First, Pete Sampras is celebrating his
Number
6th
take 10
Wimbledon
full
title
frame.
today after the Americans made a clean sweep of the All-England club on what else? The 4th of July.
Take it full.
Sampras taking on another American,
Super.
Andre Agassi, in the finals. Agassi thinks
Lose
he's
it.
got the
Wiping
passing
11
shot,
sound
but
full,
Sampras
full
makes the great diving stop to put it back. He had his serve working all day. Third set, aces Agassi for the win, his 17th ace of the match. He beats Agassi in straight sets, 6-3, 6-4, 7-5. Number 6 at Wimbledon,
Number 11
his
sound
12th
full.
Grand Slam title, and that is the most in tennis history.
Row 11. Wipe, sound.
You know, it's not easy to play well in a final.
Our cue going to happen at 17. Coming out 1. Wiping 12 in the box for 4:15 women.
Andre is different than playing anyone else. And a big occasion on the 4th of
5
July.
seconds. Stand by 1. Stand by 12.
To win in straights is something I didn't think was going to happen.
Dissolve. Row
Over on
12.
the
White
women's
box.
side, it was American Lindsay Davenport winning her
13 in the
first
box,
ever Wimbledon
4:25
title.
Greg
She beat
next.
Steffi Graf, who won 7 titles at the All-England Club, but this year's French Open champion says this was her last Wimbledon. Now, Graf says she is not totally retired,
Number
but she did
13.
not rule out playing in the upcoming
13.
U.S.
White
Open.
box.
Well, last night on Instant
And
Replay,
sound
the head
full
coach
frame
and general
next,
manager
4:30
of
pop.
your world champion San Antonio Spurs,
those
Greg
shots. Look at
Popovich,
that. The
joined
cough
us on
level that
the
is.
show. And while he said he's been pretty busy since the Spurs won the title,
Number
he had
10.
a little time for a pretty important phone call from the White House.
Row 10. Wipe, sound.
A lady
Take it
called
full.
and said, this is the White House, please call his number. You know, he said, oh, yeah, right. So I called the
Like
number.
he was great at 31,
and,
coming out one, wiping 11 in the box.
He called me yesterday about 5:30 in the afternoon.
Are you serious?
We had about a 10-minute talk. He was great. He said he was busy. He had stuff going on in Kosovo and on Medicare. I said, I understand.
10
that
seconds.
Stuff's a little bit more important than what we're doing here. But it was a great talk.
5 seconds, stand by 1, stand by 11.
And so we'll figure out a time when we get everybody back together and go visit. It was great.
Is that 1 or 11?
That is great. Now, before the president gets his meeting with the Spurs, he's going to have to check out the U.S. women's soccer team, who are now in the finals of the World Cup, taking on Brazil in the semifinals. Julie Foudy with a great cross.
Is it? Oh, it's open, coming back out 1, wiping 12 in the box, 4:37 tour.
Also doing it with defense. Brianna Scurry makes the great save here to preserve the shutout. They had a penalty kick for insurance and beat the Brazilians 2-0. The U.S. women's team will now face China in the World Cup finals next Saturday.
12, white box.
And just when you thought we
13 in the box, 440 Rangers next.
Who's leading the Tour de France? A Texan, Lance Armstrong from just up the road in Austin. Jan Kurespu won stage 1 yesterday. But Armstrong still has the best time, so that means he still wears the yellow jersey.
13, white box.
The ballpark in Arlington, fans providing the 4th of July spirit. Edgar Martinez providing the fireworks. He connects with this one, a 3-run home run.
Down.
That put the Mariners up
3-shot
on the Rangers. Texas trying to stay close and doing it with defense. Alex Rodriguez rips one up the middle. Royce Clayton makes the great diving stop to turn the double play, but the Rangers could not get anything going on offense. John Halama pitched a shutout for Seattle as they blank Texas 6-0. So pretty excited about the Spurs getting to go up to meet the president. That's going to be great.
10 sting of VOTs next.
He's had a few things on his mind, but maybe this will be a good distraction for him, you know.
There you
Spurs.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. Thanks, John.
Sure. 10, take sound.
Stay here. New meaning to the phrase, when pigs fly, when the news at noon continues.
Fade.